Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to block party number 63. This is our 63rd block party, 24-hour collective intelligence block party. Woo! Awesome. And super excited to be kicking off Food Healers with you all. And I have a radical proposal, which I'll develop starting off with a sort of, I don't know whether it would be just sort of a logical discourse, but okay, we know what we need to do mechanically, right, or mechanistically to save life on Earth. We all need to go plant-based. We need to plant trees and return ecosystems to Mother Nature so that Mother Nature can go about rewilding. So a combination of just letting it go back to nature to rewild and doing some tree planting and some other benevolent interventions, right? And we need to deploy mirrors to reflect sunlight back into space to cool the planet, since we're on a very vicious exponential overheating trend. And it simply may not be enough, even if the world all went plant-based all at once, it may not be enough fast enough to both stop the exponential overheating trend and cool the planet. So that's what needs to happen physically, right? That's what physically needs to happen. These are like the end results that physically need to happen. Now, how do we get there, right? How do we inspire and orchestrate humanity as a whole to actually make these changes and implement these very significant changes, many of which are going to necessitate other structural changes, perhaps radical changes to our very modality of life here on the planet. Very notably, what we've just been discussing, and Ray, you've been discussing in the last few weeks about, hey, even if we all go plant-based, you're going to have greedy landowners in tropical areas of the world who are going to say, break out the chainsaws, it's time to grow palm oil, or it's time to grow cotton or coffee or some other cash crop, right? So we have this fundamental mode of production problem, as well as a meat and dairy problem, right? So the bottom line is we've got a very nasty web of problems. Welcome, James. Welcome back, James. We are recording. And so my hypothesis and proposal is, yes, we can solve these problems. We can solve all of them. And it's going to take a higher level of intelligence and coordination and orchestration on our part, on the part of the imaginal cells, than has arguably ever been mustered before, right? Because it's so far out of the human experience of what to do in response to what kind of crisis, right? Like, I would argue that we humans know what to do in response to a military threat from another people, right? Whether it's Japanese or English or German or Italian or whatever. Yeah, we know what to do. We arm up and we go to war. Not many people like to do that, but other than the military industrial complex, but we know how to do it. It's almost kind of built into us, this enemy tribe thing. But what if the enemy tribe is ourselves, our own behaviors, the mode of production that's we've inherited from parents, grandparents, ancestors going back thousands of years, right? And so again, I get back to, we need collective superintelligence. We need, for the imaginal cells, us, right? The folks who get up early in the morning and get on Zoom and say, you know what, we've got to do this. We got to do something about this. We need, my hypothesis, and I want to hear from you all, right? But my hypothesis is we need more than another white paper. We need more than another YouTube video. I don't think YouTube video number 1,000,000,001 is going to just suddenly magically do it, right? And then everyone just suddenly gets it. I'm not even sure we've gotten it yet. Per my earlier point about the mode of production, yes, we know the plant-based thing, right? And we know the theory, but how do we actually get it all done, right? Sister Ivy. Sister Ivy, good morning.
Hello.
Hey, sister. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So great to see you guys together. It's like a dream come true.
Who's visiting who?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Silas is visiting LA, and Sister Ivy lives in LA, as does Sarah. And Sister Ivy, I just want you to know, we were having a pretty good time before you showed up, but with you here, now it's perfect. All righty. Anyway, we are recording, and we're also remembering our brother Boomer, and I'm basically promoting the hypothesis that in order to actually accomplish what we know we needs to get done, everyone going plant-based, returning land back to nature from the clutches of capitalism, shall we say, the clutches of greed and totalitarian agriculture. Thank you, Daniel Quinn, Ishmael's Story of Bee from the 90s. We need to form this network of conversations that we've been dreaming of which this is a great example. This is one conversation. We need tens of thousands of these, hundreds of thousands of these, all hyper-connected, forming a vast network of conversations in the Zoomosphere, which essentially, if this conversation is like one imaginal cell, and I'm kind of using imaginal cells on multiple levels here, if this conversation is one imaginal cell and each of us inside of it, like Russian dolls, each of us is an imaginal cell, right? Ray and Kelly are this beautiful imaginal dipole. Anyway, so, but if this room is one imaginal cell and there are tens of thousands of other imaginal cells in the chrysalis, what is our imperative? What is the next thing to do? Each do our own thing? We've tried that, and how's it working out for us? Not very well. Yeah, we're making progress, but not fast enough. We need to connect. We need to connect. We need to connect. And so what I'm proposing to get us all connected is that we harmonize around a central frequency, which for the actual imaginal cells inside an actual chrysalis in nature, there is a certain frequency with which they communicate, and they get together and they harmonize and they build a butterfly. In our case, we need to harmonize around a story, a meme, an idea, right? And I think Silas hit the nail on the head months ago when he said, chrysalis itself. Imagine that these tens of thousands of Zoom rooms of all these transformational folks like ourselves, all these imaginal cells, all start talking chrysalis, and talk about the imperative. The story that inspires us is a story of connection. And we find a way to connect, right? Chrysalis calendar is one such way. We need myriad ways, and we need myriad calendars. Anyway, with that as a starting point, let me put that out there and let me hand it over. I know Ray and Kelly have their hand up, and Silas and Sister Ivy have a lot going on there in LA. So I'm going to turn it over to Silas and Sister Ivy, and please take it away, either on whatever you got to say. We're very happy so excited to see you guys together, and we are recording. And take it away, Silas and Sister Ivy.
Yeah, Sister Ivy is going to start us off with words of inspiration, and then I have an announcement to make.
Awesome. And are you okay recording, Sister Ivy and Silas?
Of course.
Okay. As you wish. Go for it, Sister Ivy. Take it away.
Well, hello, everyone. I apologize for being late today. I didn't come with some of the stuff I needed to by getting here, but here I am. And let's just reiterate and really affirm that this is the day and the meeting that the Spirit has made. So we will be glad, give thanks, rejoice, and stand in the Spirit's presence right here, unafraid, let's just take a minute of silence. And we know that peace, like you said, that peace that passes all understanding, all human understanding, that peace of divine love is above everyone and everything. Let's just feel that peace. And as always, starting with inspirations for no fear. Do not fear, says divine universal mind, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will help you, I will strengthen you. I will uphold you with the power of my righteousness. In divine truth we can trust. In divine wisdom we can trust. In divine harmony we can trust. In divine spirit we can trust. In divine governance we can trust. In divine love we can trust. In divine universal wise mind we can trust to guide us through the day, through this meeting, through our conversations, so that all is harmony. In divine freedom we can trust. And let's just take a moment to affirm and pray and know, so that we can believe and see it, that we were made free, all of us, all beings, human and non-human, made free. We live in freedom because we live and move and have our being in divine spirit. We were made free and are to keep free. So made free was the work of our Creator, and keep free is our work. And of course, divine love always with us for that. All free. Just affirm, I am free. You are free. We are free. And let's think about any person that we know that is really constrained in any way, in any sense, in any place. And see them free, 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 free. Those that we know that are in jail, those that we know that are in bad situations, or ourselves, whatever it is, those that are in hospitals, all free. Just the way the Creator made us, healthy and free. And since this is a very important time to see that freedom, let's think about the mental freedom. For all times important. Mental freedom for all. all limitations, all labels, all humanity free of that. Let's really see it. Because if we don't think it's possible, how do we make it possible? But the Creator did not make us to be in bondage, but to be free. Made us free to keep free. Always prayers for freedom. And this is an instant help always, and for healing, to no fear. Do not be afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it tries to come. And let's know that it can only try, and then we are to open the door or close it. That word try is very important. If we know that evil, error, hypnotism, unreal magnetism, animal magnetism, whatever name is the same, can only try, and then we decide if we open the door or not. This, when all humanity knows this, we will be so much freer of all that, all what is ungodlike. That we have the dominion and we have the decision. We have the choice. Yes, we do. Everyone. Free our thinking, free our life. So we will not be afraid when error, evil tries to come. For we know divine spirit, divine truth, divine love, universal wise mind, that divine principle keeping us straight, that divine goodness for all. No one is left out of God's divine goodness. And soul and joy, so we can and will have confidence in that. And that will keep us from being taken in any wrong direction, path, activity, place, company, whatever. That is the power of the omnipotent spirit. And that omnipotent spirit can remove everything that is not true. So that's when we need to decide, do I believe in this power as omnipotent or not? And then we can go with that. This is a decision that we need to make every day, many times a day. Do I believe that the power of that spirit of goodness, divine love, universal wise mind is omnipotent or not? Because that way we are going to decide if we can do something that seems impossible, such as the work that we are all here for to do, called to do, and to do. Or maybe we don't believe that and we may not be able to do that much. The scripture says, I can of my own self do nothing. And this was said by, let's just say, one of the best healers in the globe, if not the best, but I'm, of course, honoring many other ones from many other places that have helped so much in the healing of humanity, in the transformation as we are here to do. That divine love removes everything and everyone that is offensive. And it changes people for that. Divine mind removes everything that is not real. If it's not good, it's not true because it's not from the Creator. He said that the Creator saw everything that was made and it was good. If we go every day with that basis of creation being only good, our day will be only good. Divine love removes everyone that is not for real. This is very important that we know who's for real and who's not, so that we trust in divine mind guiding us and we know who to trust also. Very important. And divine, wise, universal mind removes everything that is not good, unlike itself, all good. This is a very great affirmation to go with. Nothing inharmonious can enter being, for life is God good. And if we don't see it in our experience, then it's because we haven't affirmed this, because we don't know this, because we don't believe this. And so we cannot bring it into our experience. But this is a spiritual truth, a spiritual fact everywhere, that nothing inharmonious can enter that perfect being that the Creator made. You, me, and all beings, human and non-human, and the whole universe. Isn't it wonderful to see this universe as perfect as it was made, so that we can keep it that way? We need to see it, we need to believe it to be able to bring it in our experience. And this is what we are about, healing and transformation. And really the transformation is in our thinking, so that we see what was really created and go with that. In spite of everything that is shown to us through the day. We see all kinds of imperfection, and we take that in, or we see the perfection. And then bless ourselves by not taking that, and bless the others, and bless the whole world by bringing that perfection that was already the original. And let's send this to the whole world, this declaration. Do not love the world, not the things of the world. For those who love the world, the love of that spirit of goodness is not in them. Imagine if the whole humanity knew this and stopped loving the worldly things, the money, the cars, the houses, whatever it is. Then our work will be so much easier. So I was inspired to bring that, so that we are very clear on that, to not love the world, not the things of the world. And so that we can put our love in divine mind, divine goodness, and in our brothers and sisters and all the beings, human and non-human. That's a transformation right here in our thinking. Whatever is worldly, whatever of materiality, we stop loving it, to give the example to all humanity. And love God and love our brothers and sisters and all other beings. Just feel the love, the true love, the real love. And I will send out this declaration against materiality, against all materiality, for more spirituality and more love. A sentence that can really take away all of that. It's called the scientific statement of the spiritual being. Very deep metaphysics, and here it is. There is no life, truth, intelligence, no substance in materiality. All is infinite, divine, wise mind, and its infinite manifestation. For God is all, Spirit is all. Spirit is immortal truth. Matter is mortal error. That's why we don't take it anywhere. Spirit is the real and eternal. Materiality is the unreal and temporal. That's why we don't work for it. We don't live for it. Spirit is God, and we are Spirit's image and likeness. Therefore, we are not material. We are spiritual beings. You are spiritual. I am spiritual. We all are spiritual. All beings, human and not human in the universe, are spiritual, spiritually made, wonderfully made. And let's just each one of us think of ourselves, of each one of us, as wonderfully made. Can we just really see that? Can we feel that? We are wonderfully made. And that even includes our body. We are wonderfully made. I am wonderfully made. Yesterday we were talking about building and how our work is not to destroy but to build. Beautiful thing to bring in the meetings. So let's just know that everything we build is like ourselves, wonderfully built. And we stop looking at the ones destroying and the destruction so that we can build wonderfully, just like we were built and made. Let's bring this to the world. If we don't have it in our thinking, we won't have it in our experience. So let's bring this to all the world, wonderfully made. And so we will do our work and build on that premise that we are wonderfully made. Creation was wonderfully made, all good. And everything we build and work for must be wonderfully made also. Let's take some moments of silent prayer. And as we did yesterday so beautifully and so inspiring, whoever would like to say, I am grateful for one or two or three things, whatever you can inspire, whatever divine mind gives you, whatever your love inspires to share. So let's do some moments of silence, and maybe I will start with saying what I'm grateful for, and then whoever else would like to share. I am grateful for all the goodness in my life, and that I know that is for all other beings. I am grateful for this beautiful group that divine wise mind put together to do good. And I am grateful for being able to be here with the brother. And we would like to share.
I am grateful for life. I'm grateful for the day. I'm grateful for the people in my life and all the animals in my life.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for this glimpse of love and life, and know it's bigger and broader than I can understand. Feeling grateful.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that we've had so much love from all over the world to Boomer, one of the greatest fecal activists ever. I'm overwhelmed. I'm so grateful that literally I'm 3,000 animals lit a candle for Boomer last night. And I'm so grateful that all of my friends and family have been around me, have come to see him before we sent him away to a more peaceful place, and he'll be in the vegan world. We only had to wait 5 more years to see him again and all of our babies. So I appreciate everybody reaching out, and he's in no pain. And he was running and playing 2 days before he went to the hospital. So there's nothing anybody could have done. And it's hard for us, but it's not for him. So we have him in his ashes, and we cherish him forever. And he's going to keep going with the food healers. And I'm grateful that Ingrid and myself and Annie met yesterday, and we ironed out everything for our first event, our first official event. And I am grateful that Dr. Rao came to Los Angeles and is helping us with the initiation and just making sure we have a smooth transition for our wonderful duties, because we owe to ourselves to be givers always and to keep giving no matter what. We're the givers and we just keep giving. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
I am grateful for each and every one of you, all of us together. What an amazing, beautiful group. Sarah, Christopher, Marco, Silas, Sister Ivy, BJ, Ray, Kelly, James, and all of our sisters and brothers who aren't here with us at the moment, but will be soon. I'm grateful for my partner, Melissa, my mother-in-law, Patricia, my mother, Carolyn, all our families and friends and all of life, all of our sisters and brothers of all different species, animals, plants, all the beautiful creation. And I am so grateful that we have this gift of life and connection. That look at this amazing connection. We're all talking with each other all around the world and co-creating a path forward to save, heal, and transform life on Earth. I couldn't ask for more. I am so happy and grateful. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, creation. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Abby.
And welcome, Annie. And Marco, yeah, I think Marco has something to share. We're just sharing our gratitude, Annie. And Annie, we were having an awesome time before you showed up, but with you here, now it's perfect. Marco, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. I want to say I'm grateful certainly for all that I've met, all the people I've met here. And I'm grateful that I was born where I was born, here in the United States, because it's given me a lot of opportunities that people didn't have elsewhere, and that I wouldn't have had I been born elsewhere. And I want to say that I'm very grateful at this moment that I'm relatively free from the barriers that get set up by people ingrained in religion in a way that leads to the situation in the Middle East right now. You know, our sister Soul is over there, left her house yesterday to go to where there was a bomb shelter in between air raid sirens, and that's no way to live. And we really need to appreciate, you know, how relatively free we are in the United States right now to not be burdened with that kind of situation. But we can't ignore that it's going on elsewhere in the world. And I'm grateful that, you know, we're free to do something about the situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for this this community, because with community and this group, there's power, and there's like combined love, and then we're not just here by ourselves. We know that we have other people. We can collaborate together. I'm grateful for community. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for the fact that even though I'm far away from you all, and I'm here in Ireland, surrounded by family and community and my own people, I feel for a long time that the majority of them have been walking around and still are walking around with a blindfold on. And I felt for a long time that I was among them, but still on my own. And now I don't feel that way anymore because of the community that I've found here with you lot. And I know that there are good people out there who have their blindfolds off and who are trying to make a difference. So for that, I'm truly grateful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful that I live in a time where everything matters. A time in which there's obvious turbulence and need for change, and I'm glad that I was able to break that slumber that I've been in for most of my life, that said that this is somebody else's problem. It's our problem, and I'm glad that I'm here to see it. It's a source of constant anguish to see the rest of the world still asleep, but it's something that I'd much rather confront head on and be part of the solution rather than be part of the resistance to change.
Thank you.
To reverse that alleged Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. We live in the most interesting of times.
Thank you. The most beautiful part to me forever is about this time is that this time that we have in right now is that we declare and we say, I am grateful. That we stayed and remember that we have so much to be grateful for. So I'm glad that we can now have this time with all of you wonderful people. Is there anyone else that would like to state that? I am grateful.
I'm going to be grateful for, I mean, everybody's gratitude. I feel the same. My family, health, and all that. I do meditation every day, and I have to do 10 gratitudes. That's my homework I've been given from a coach that I'm working with. So a lot of the times it gets repetitive. So I try to look for little things in life to be grateful for. So like right now, I'm grateful that I'm able to have a delicious, nourishing cup of vegan hot chocolate in my hands. So little things like that, right? That, you know, you just kind of take for granted, right? That I'm allowed, that I'm privileged enough to just have little things, you know, or like, you know, the sun that's coming through my house, you know, the birds that are chirping, like all those little things, right? And just connect me more, because I mean, we just walk around so blindly for the most part, most people, right? So I try to think of those little things.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I joined late, but
Never late, never late.
when I write through, learn this from somebody, but every day has to be something different, and I will read my list. So I'm not sure if I go off this. I want to see my list. I am really grateful for the present moment, because that's where I feel the happiest. And I put things behind me and I rise again. I'm grateful that for the people around me, for my family. And you know, I have specifics also. I'm grateful for people who contribute to this world, contribute to and help people. Who appreciates Mother Nature and takes care of Mother Nature, cares for animals and cares for people, cares for living things. I'm also thankful for the things that humanity created, that it makes us easier to live. Like we have homes, we have plumbing, we have electricity. Everything makes it easier for us to live. I'm so thankful for that. When the lights go off, it's very, you're like, wow, we really need this. We don't have internet, we don't have communication, we don't have, you know, I have the tankless water heater, and we don't have hot water. All these conveniences that humans created, I'm really thankful for too. And of course, for this community, I'm really happy to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? And of course, the very wonderful thing that we can do is that when we know of all these things that we can be grateful for, that we include all those that lack all these things that we sometimes even take for granted. And so that we find the love to help them to reach a hand and do something that will bless them, since we have so much. So if no one else is for stating about being grateful, I would just say thank you all for being here. Thank you all for letting me share my joy, which is my inspiration, my time with God, time with that spirit so wonderful with all of us. Thank you. And I know that this brother Silas wants to announce something, and we also would like to introduce this new community person right here, and I hope you stay with us in the Zoom.
Yeah,
So
I'm lucky to be off work. So yeah. Otherwise I would join more often.
Yes.
I was on this before, but not in the morning time.
So you want to introduce him?
Yeah, you all met James?
Yeah.
James? Yeah, of course.
Welcome back, James. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great to see you. James, with you here, now it's perfect.
Yes. And I don't know if you have said it for everybody, but if not, we can just say it for everyone, because it's so beautiful to just welcome everyone warmly all the time with that great thing. So if you didn't do it, I'm just saying, let's take a second to do that for everyone. With you here, now is perfect. And thank you, brother, for bringing that beautiful line to us.
I actually learned it from the mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa. When I arrived in Los Angeles in late 2011, I'll just share in 10 seconds and then pass it to you, Silas. But I arrived in Los Angeles at the airport at LAX, and there I am, weary traveler. And there's this big, beautiful poster of Antonio Villaraigosa saying, "Welcome to Los Angeles. With you here, now it's perfect." It's like, whoa. So that's one of our slogans now. And it's so wonderful. Anyway, back to you.
Right back to you, brother. Right back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Silas, take it away, brother. We love you, and we're so excited to see you and hear your good news.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. On Tuesday, we got together and we decided that we were going to send a proposal to World Unity Week to have a panel on veganism during the plenary. And I heard back from Ben Bowler. He's excited about it. And he's asking us to think big and to see how we can cut through to the mainstream. So I'll just read his, in fact, I'll share his email. Oh, I need screen sharing permission. Okay. So it says, I was excited to visit with Rabbi David Rosen during the week. I asked him what was the most hopeful about in the world, and he answered the rise of veganism. So I support a 1-hour plenary offered by you in World Unity Week. I urge you to shoot for the stars, literally, when assembling the panel. This list may be useful, which is a list of all the vegans. For World Unity Week 2021 in general and offering a plenary in particular, we must be absolutely determined to break through into mainstream audiences. whom do you think you can add? Whatever. How can we help you? Once we have the participants more locked in, we can look at scheduling in more detail. So thank you. Now, let me stop sharing.
Beautiful.
Right?
Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Yeah.
So I am thinking, rather than having if we just have vegans talking to each other and having a vegan panel, it may not interest the mainstream as much. But instead of saying veganism is essential for world unity, if we say, is veganism essential for world unity? And have a debate, right? I think we can get people to come. I'm thinking that, there is this gentleman in UC Davis called Frank Mittelhoner, professor, and he calls himself GHG Guru on Twitter. So if I invite him, I think he'll come. So I'm thinking, what do you think? I'm just posing it as a thought. If we could have like a panel, maybe with Alan Savory and Frank Mittelhoner on the other side, and maybe Vasily Stanescu and someone else on our side, and moderated by someone like maybe Becky Suzik could moderate. Someone who's relatively neutral, right? So she's with the World Unity Week, and I think she does a good job of moderating because she runs podcasts.
Well, do you think that is a unity thing, a unifying thing, or is it maybe? I mean, I'm kind of wondering there. I did see the debate on something squared.
Right, intelligence squared. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that was a debate, and then of course that went so well for all of our side. But before you were saying that, you threw the big debate in there, which I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. What about if we had some famous people that people don't know are vegan, but they admire the heck out of them, like Angela Davis, and the gorilla woman, chimpanzee woman.
You mean Jane Goodall?
Yeah, Jane Goodall. And who else? I mean, those kind of names. Is Mark Bittman vegan yet? I don't think so, but people follow him.
Right.
So getting people who follow him, even if he's not vegan, but could bring in names, and then the answer will be so clear. Anyway, that's what where my mind was going before you.
No, that's a good one, BJ. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think getting someone like Angela Davis to come along would be awesome, and Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall, unfortunately, I think she wants a lot of money to attend these things.
Yes, I'm afraid she probably wouldn't be in a panel, but that level of person who's got exposure.
But Ben may be able to get Jane Goodall.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Marco, your hands up.
Yeah, just a couple thoughts on that. I super love the debate idea, and I'm not sure who this Frank guy is. You said, but if he's somebody with a lot of Twitter followers, is that what you said?
He was the chairman of the UN FAO Livestock Environmental and Assessment Performance.
Perfect. I would not shy away from the debate idea, but I like BJ's idea of having some influential people. You don't want to make the panel too big because then there's not enough back and forth. But if they would agree to be in the audience, and then giving them an opportunity to speak, I think would be a great way to go.
I think Frank Mitloner may be difficult because his argument may not be compatible because he concentrates on what is the United States' responsibility in changing our habits,
Right.
and then he'll look at percentages of emissions and things that the United States is so much more efficient than the rest of the world when it comes to agriculture, ignoring the fact that we're like the core of beef consumption and export our appetite to the rest of the world. I mean, none of that's of any interest to him. He wants to argue these silly little points. And I mean, if you can get him involved in it, great. But I think that I would suggest instead, or as well, Tara Garnett from the Food Climate Research Network.
I love this idea because I'm just thinking of the debate of should we take animals off our plate in Australia with the iconic speech of Philip Woolen, and they clearly won the audience over at the end. The audience agreed heavily in the favor of taking animals off our plate. So I do love the idea of a debate, but I think I like the idea, BJ, as well, of having influential people on the panel. But I think it should be more than just the scientific community or this community. I think we should try to get a celebrity on there too, right? You know, maybe Alicia Silverstone or maybe Kevin Smith, right? Like these people have some large followers and they're very dedicated, passionate vegan activists. Brian Adams. I mean, like, I don't know if we can get these people, but you know what I mean? Like, and get a lot of diversity to show that vegans are diverse. Because otherwise I feel like it'll be an echo chamber if we just vegans talking and to the vegans that show up.
What if we had, okay, is this too wild? Have a panel with Angela Davis and blah, 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 if we could get them, and a debate. Then you could bring in, all your Joe Salatin, Alan Savory, all the Frank people. Right. And you got Vass and you got maybe Wolin, whoever, on that side. I mean, that's going to bring in a wide, like you say, I love that idea of bringing in a wide group. And if that was first, would then people want to see a panel? Then it brings in some of your different people, I don't know. Could we have two? I don't know. Anyway, I'm loving this.
Go ahead, James.
Thanks, Eilish. Yeah, actually, BJ, you're not wrong there. You could have two really. I suppose you could have audience participation with a panel as well after discussion, so it can all be combined. Would I be right in assuming that you would be sending out invitations for, such an event, Eilish?
Yes, absolutely. So this is
part
of the World Unity Week.
Yeah. Well, then I would suggest Alan is in kind of contact at the moment. We're maybe trying to get help me out here, Jamin. Alan is trying to get what's his name again?
Alan Savory.
No, Russell Brand.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Russell Brand. Yeah.
Yes.
So Alan is trying to get Russell Brand onto the block party at the moment, so he could possibly send an invitation to him, and that would be something that he would probably be interested in as well, because he does like to talk. And I would like to be able to, or possibly put a name for John Doyle as well, who's with the EU Foresight group, and he's also vegan himself, even though he doesn't make a big thing of it, but he is vegan himself. So I would suggest his name as well being put on the list for invitations.
So on board with Russell Brand. Oh my God, he is absolutely perfect for this. If we can get him, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Would you want him on a panel? Because he'll talk. And I mean that in a loving way. And or in a debate.
I like to see him in a debate because he doesn't talk enough about veganism, even though he's vegan.
Yes.
Right? I'd like to
Yes.
see how he would argue for veganism.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
I had an appointment with him yesterday, but I got an email cancelled and said to reschedule. It's just a 10-minute Zoom call, but yeah, don't know when it's rescheduled. Might be another couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Responsible for him. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm down for him coming to something.
He also has very good connections with Vanda Shiva, and she'd be very good on the panel as well, or even in the debate.
Yeah. Which side would she choose in a debate? That would be
Interesting, because we're talking about the nuance of whether veganism is necessary, and she would probably argue that it's not.
right.
And strangely, she's polarizing and entrenching herself opposite of Bill Gates, who is saying that we should be eating synthetic meat and so forth, which is yet again kind of like a third tower in the debate.
Yeah, Jamin, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, thanks. So it's interesting when this is block party number 63. At block party number 1, well over a year ago, before COVID, right? One of our showcase events was meant to be a discussion, but it turned into a debate, and not a very pleasant one, I would add, between Silas and Alan Savory, right? And we end up getting hung up on facts. And it seems to me actually that to do such a debate where people can put facts on the table and then how do you challenge them and all this, if anything, it seems to be sowing seeds of doubt. Just imagine it was 1982 and somebody organized a debate. Should we have computers or not? Pro-computers, anti-computers. Instead, what happened? Steve Jobs comes and goes, boom, here's a Mac. And the world changed forever. So I say, instead of a debate, I'm just debating with you. Oh my goodness, I'm contradicting myself. Instead of a debate, what if we brought to the table the Mac of veganism, which is, drum roll, the chrysalis and collective superintelligence. So instead of a normal panel of, stuffed shirts with neckties sitting there trying to look intelligent, we brought in whole roomfuls at a time, and Silas, as the master orchestrator, says, okay, now we're going to hear from this group, and boom, 12 people show up, and whoever is pre-organized to represent shares a tight synthesis. Maybe they have 2 or 3 minutes of what that room has been working on. Whether it's reforestation, planting trees, saving the Amazon, solar radiation management, addressing the roots of capitalism and our mode of production, what a new story for humanity, whatever. And then we hear from a whole room at a time, boom, 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 boom. And we present the world with a beautiful visual and sensory experience of collective superintelligence, of the chrysalis in action. That would be the Macintosh moment, right? The 1984 moment of throwing the hammer against the screen and saying, enough of the tyranny of stupidity, welcome the age of collective superintelligence and collective benevolence. Anyway, with that, I pass the talking feather. Thank you.
I think that's a great idea.
Right. I know you're trying to broaden it, but the community there is, they know all the other stuff, but they are still doubtful about veganism. Most of them are not vegan yet, but a lot of them are closet vegans. There are quite a few closet vegans there. So this is why I think bringing that out is, this is why Ben said it's okay to bring that out, right? And try to make an impact on the mainstream. So this hour is the coming out party for veganism in the mainstream.
I love it. So if we got Russell Brand, Jane Goodall, Angela Davis, can we have one more? And if they're, I'll say yes. Who is another big,
Joaquin Phoenix.
yes. Yes.
That would get people coming.
That would get people coming.
I would like to offer two thoughts about this. I don't know the people, you know, so nothing about the people that you have mentioned, anyone. But I think it's very important what you sister said that if it's going to be for unity or division, I think that was like a main thing.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know the answer. I'm just bringing that thought. I think first and foremost is to just really find out and understand, is this going to be for unity or for division?
Right.
I thought that was like a main thing. The other thought that I would like to offer is about, well, what you mentioned, that one of the people won't come on. It sounded like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that won't come unless she's paid. I think it was she, right? Yeah, she's paid. And I just share this with you about We Are Uno. We always were an organization with only, and absolutely only, including myself, volunteers. And you know, my volunteering is 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. And I was glad to, of course, and everyone was volunteer. So later on through the years, you know, I said, this would be so good to all these amazing, great volunteers, being able to make a living with doing the work for, you know, divine love and with We Are Uno. And so found a way and started paying them. But I can tell you the difference was from earth to sky, really. It just changed so much everything. Everyone started looking at the watch. Others started talking about, oh no, but this hour and whatever. They were kind of getting tired instead of inspired. I mean, it was so much that I say, no, we go back to volunteers. That much it was, even though it seemed that the, you know, that the goal was so good, right? Having all these people working for something good that they believed in instead of going and having a job. But the money thing and the payment thing just changed so much. I just couldn't work like that. I'm like, no. And we went back to volunteers. You know, there might be other ways to do it. Maybe we didn't get things. I don't know. But I'm just, that brought me that idea, like how different it was when people just volunteer their time, their work, and no money involved is just very wonderful thing. So just bringing that thought. I don't know about the specific and people know, but just those two thoughts, I think it would be very important to be very clear about it. Any idea, really, not just this, right?
Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, I just think all of us would benefit from a little bit of more careful languaging. I mean, I heard a lot today, our side, their side, you know, and that kind of languaging doesn't make for unity. I know it's a subtle point, but subtle always is a way to go, you know. So we have to watch our languaging. And I'll also point out there's not a lot of time left between now and Unity Week. So this is a big bite we're taking doing this. So, you know, you'll have to come to a consensus and move pretty fast. I know in our nonprofit, timing always bites us in the butt. Everybody always thinks there's enough time. It's 2 weeks away, and it's just, there's never enough time. And I'm complete for now.
what we keep on doing in this meeting.
I just put in the chat Russell Brand's email.
This is a good.
If anyone wants to write to him, possibly the more people write to him, invite him, the more chance he's got of coming. But that's an email that he actually reads every email in. So
Okay, thank you. I mean, I like BJ's idea actually. I think we have to start acting like we won the argument. There's no more debate about this. You're right. You know. Yeah, let's go for, as he said, let's go for the people who will draw in more people, like Russell Brand. So thank you. Yeah, and Ray is right, you know, because there are some people who are going to come up with their own alternate facts, and there's nothing we can do about it. Go ahead, Sarah.
What about getting other people also besides Russell Brand to, maybe it would make him feel more comfortable talking about it if he had some more celebrities behind him?
Mm-hmm.
But what about we talk to Phil Lane and Vincent Schilling and maybe get some ideas from them, because I think that they're really good at being able to broadcast it out to large audiences. And also the fact that Chief Phil, I think BJ and I were talking about this a while ago, having a senior panel of seniors who have gone vegan. And, you know, because he's 76, that's a huge accolade for him, because so many people don't want to change, or they want to conform rather than look at themselves. They just rather conform to the masses. That's what's happening, obviously, we can see. So I think we'd also need to talk to people that are local in our communities, just so we can try to get a more diverse panel. I think the diversity would be also helpful, but I don't know. That's just my idea. I think we also should get somebody that's vegan, that's a top, somebody that has so much social media that they can also get other people to engage, and they can be engaging as the debate is going on or the conversation is going on. They can weigh in, and they can say, okay, if you're one of my fans, like if Russell Brand would be putting it on his Instagram, possibly they could say, weigh in. And that could be the conversation also, because that gets people talking, and it just doesn't limit it. It branches it out. I don't know. That's just a thought.
Yeah, just real quick, I believe, I might be mistaken, but I think Russell Brand was involved in Unity Week last year, so maybe you can ask Ben if he already has a connection there.
Was he? Okay. I don't recall that. Go ahead, Jamin.
Thank you. Loving this conversation. This is collective intelligence in action. I'm going to say 6 words, and I'd love to hear people's thoughts on these 6 words. And I'm going to put it in the chat. What does it remind you of, and what does it make you think of present day 2021? Veganism for the rest of us. Passing the talking feather.
Thank you, Jamin. And thank you, everyone. Well, I'm seeing a really good list, and I think it needs to be a little bit longer because we might get some no's. Maybe not, though. Russell Brand, Jane Goodall, Angela Davis, Joaquin, and Vincent. Vincent could hold his own in a panel and have his own perspectives that would bring, all of those would bring in an audience, and it's not too big. Anyway, I'm very excited about it. I mean, just think of the audience that each one of those would bring in, and who of them would say no to those others, even if they don't know them. I think they would go, oh, well, that'd be interesting. Oh, okay. Oh my, oh goodness. Okay. Wow. I mean, whoo, I'm doing it. So wouldn't they? Okay, thanks.
I'm just going to quick ask, are any of you familiar with, Joaquin's more infamous interviews? He tends to go off the rails and, get a little bit crazy. I mean, to put a label on it, he's done some pretty bizarre stuff in interviews. So I'm not sure that would be to our benefit.
That sounds like a good point. I don't know the person, but sounds like a good point what you say.
Go ahead, Sarah.
I actually lost my train of thought. I'm not sure why, but I don't think Joaquin will do it unless he's a very private person. Unless you talk to Amy Jean Davis and go through that way, Sean Munson, you might want to talk to him. But I was thinking that getting like a kid on there that's vegan to align themselves. I feel like we need to make it more. I meant to say a vegan celebrity kid. And I had somebody in mind, and she has a huge following. I just couldn't remember who it was, but it was somebody that could align with Russell Brand. Like they know each other, and I just can't remember who it is, but I'll think of it later. But yeah, I think we need to be more diverse. And I'm just trying to figure out, where are you going to do this panel? And if it's going to be online.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess everybody logs in and goes on Zoom, and people will log in and watch it. I don't know. I feel like it should be on a different platform other than Zoom. I'm not sure why, but I think it could eventually. Oh, I know who I was thinking of. Mick the Vegan. I think his name is Mike, but he goes by Mick the Vegan. MIC. I think Ray might know who he is. He's really popular. He's incredible. He's in his late 20s. Do you know who he is, everybody? Mick the Vegan?
Yeah. Dr. Rao interviewed him.
Or the other way.
He's incredible. And I know he would say yes, because he's a really nice person and he lives at home with his parents. He's just a really nice person.
He's got a great depth of knowledge too. That's what I was going to say about Joaquin. He's very much an emotional person and involved in that ethics, but I don't think he's the kind of person that loads himself up with data so he'd be able to engage in a debate. He's a good spokesperson that could represent really well, but not the debate guy, I don't think.
We want to drive people in with
One of the big messages that we've got is that we live in the Anthropocene, and what is the character, not the facts, not the little details. What is going to make the human race the butterfly rather than the caterpillar? And any excuse of how much meat I deserve is caterpillar, right? There's nothing butterfly about it. The attitude of veganism, the real definition of veganism is to do something that doesn't immediately benefit yourself. All health veganism, I think, is it's kind of a false flag. Honestly, I think it's true veganism is when you're able to be part of something that's bigger than yourself, that you surrender to, and that is the attitude we need to survive the next century. We need it now. So that's, I think, the argument that we should aim towards. So therefore, the Anthropocene, who are the people that have defined it? And if we were to have a vegan world, what sort of impacts would that have? Who is brave enough to measure it at this point? Because nobody is. Nobody's measuring it, even people who get it. I mentioned Jonathan Foley, who's one of the co-authors of the 9 Planetary Boundaries, and he's now the CEO of Project Drawdown. which connects him with Kate Rayworth and Johan Rockström, who was the other guy that defined the 9 planetary boundaries. They kind of fly under the radar with this, but Johan Rockström also runs the EAT Foundation, the EAT conference that happens every year in different places in the world. So food is obviously a big part of that narrative, but they also resist. They would be on the opposing side. They would say that we don't need to be veganism in order to solve these problems, but I would like to hear them justified. I would like to hear their arguments. And if it's arguments that people in the third world can't handle it, then we have an answer for that. They don't need to. We work from people with the power of choice. And that's what the world needs to understand is when you've got the power of choice, you don't hide behind somebody who doesn't. You make the choices that are the best choice. You live according to your understanding of what the best choice is, the way to live. Don't use other people as an excuse to justify dirty habits. And Kelly's bringing up Mayim Bialik, who's an outspoken vegan, at least on YouTube.
Right. Should be awesome. Maybe we should make a list.
And her picture is right next to Sailesh's in the PCRM's Universal Meal Advisory Council.
Marco, your hands up.
Yeah, I think we started with the premise here that this would be a debate, and that's what you discussed with Ben. And right now it seems like we're debating whether a debate is the right approach or not. And, you know, that list of people that we would invite would depend on whether they're into debate or just stating how they live their life. And, you know, so that makes a big difference, you know, which way you're going and on who you'd invite and who to accept. And I want to walk back a little bit, or not walk back, but clarify. When I was talking about Joaquin, it's like the media just has displayed, has labeled his activities as crazy. I understand that he's a deeply emotional person that's had a lot of trauma in his life, and it just, you know, takes over sometimes. So I wasn't calling him crazy.
That's kind of like a decade ago. Did you talk about like old interviews?
There was something in the last couple months I saw. So it could have been something just rehashed. I wasn't seeing the date, but it came up as like it was news. Right, I'm complete.
Brother Ray, I love what you said about the caterpillar and the butterfly, and like have the vision of what is going to take us here or here. I think that's a wonderful thing to go by for the chrysalis, for everything about the chrysalis. Thank you so much. And Sister Sarah, you talk about bringing a kid or a younger person, and it reminded me of that amazing, I don't know his name, but amazing, beautiful kid that you brought the other day on what you were filming the other day. What was that? And you brought this, he was maybe a teenager. Oh, he was so beautiful and loving and amazing. You know who he was I'm talking about? When you were filming, what was that? I think you were there too.
In Vegan Heaven? No.
Yes, that's what it was, the big event. Yes. Just a little bit ago. And I know you were filming this, I think it was a teenager.
Teenager? He's not a teenager. He's,
no? Or 20 something?
He's Kamaya's age.
Looks like a teenager.
Okay.
Maybe she knows because she was filming him, and just very loving and very intelligent person. And speaking really so well. You know, Sister Sarah, you were filming him.
For Jane Unchained, for a demo that I was
Oh,
filming, possibly.
For the
No,
big event that we just had,
Vegan Evan.
2000.
2026.
Was he the young guy who does yoga with his mother?
Oh, is that who you're talking about?
So beautiful and loving, and he was all
Kai, is it Kai and his mom?
Bay Atkins?
Yeah, Tabay Atkins.
Yeah, Tabay. I want to always call him Kai, but yeah, Tabay and his mom are amazing. We should definitely get them. They're so amazing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, celebrities. It can be everyone that will bring the message well, you know. But that kid was amazing. Yes, thank you for knowing who it is.
It's such a great way to frame the conversation in a way that we're talking about our future generation. What's possible with this next generation? And it opens up so much doors when we're usually stuck in the framework of the baby boomers who have set up the conversation to suit themselves. And really, I don't want a single rule that keeps the baby boomers comfortable. You know, if we're setting the bar that low, that it's time for those who are inheriting the earth to be able to make decisions on the earth. And even as a Gen Xer, I think we've had our kick at the can and we've largely failed. So we have to start making decisions based on that next generation. And Tabay, he's just such a joyful person. And you contrast that with the old crunchies that are going to be, just wanting to adhere to that old system and say, we need our meat, we need our, come up with all the old excuses. And I think that'll, that really spins it in a very positive can-do kind of way.
I'm going to say we need a good title for this that brings people in, and maybe veganism for the rest of us or something like that. What do you mean? Veganism for everybody, or veganism, is it possible? Something, veganism for the rest of us, something, because then you see those names up there. And yes, you have a loving person like Tabay. Well, they're all loving people, my goodness. But anyway, that they don't know in there, you're right. They don't have to know everybody. But if their person is there, it is going to expand our audience so much to have a few of those big names. And then to have the question, even Silas could be there, I mean, yeah, could be on the panel. I mean, if it gets too big, you don't want it too big, but yeah, I'd love that. I think your suggestion of Becky is a good moderator. I think she would be great at that. But anyway, I'm gonna have to leave in about 10 minutes, but I really have been thrilled with this. I've been thinking, I'm sure all of us have been thinking, what big thing can we do? I've been trying to think what we need to get the attention of a lot of people. And so thank you for this space and this time to let this come forth.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. That's so good. If the debate is going to be done, and I'm just saying because I just heard we are looking into or something, but there's so many things in the world about with the ism, So veganism, and we have so many of the ism that haven't brought so much good. You might have heard many of those. So I will suggest that it's not one of the isms, because people might relate it also with many other things that through history have brought really bad things. So that's all. But thank you for being thinking about a name. If it is going to be done, it will need a name, a good name. But that's my suggestion.
Yeah, maybe I should read the email I sent him first,
Yes, that would be
so
wonderful.
you
Thank
understand where he came from. Because Becky contacted me and said, can you send a proposal to John and Ben? So this is what I had sent them. Becky suggested that I send you a proposal for the plenary during World Unity Week. I was envisioning a panel of vegan luminaries explaining why veganism is essential for world unity. So I wasn't framing it as a debate to begin with. It was just, why veganism is essential for world unity. I can invite subject matter experts on social justice, human health, environment, and spirituality to explain why the killing machine of animal agriculture is totally incompatible with a peaceful world and therefore world unity. I would be happy to moderate the panel and keep it under an hour. So that's what he responded to.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Well said, brother.
This is similar to something I was thinking about, a future convergence. Someday I would like to have a convergence that's focused on non-vegans specifically, and say, we have this convergence of vegans. You as a non-vegan, what would you want to express? What knowledge do you want to share with vegans? Teach the vegans for one convergence, and just let them express themselves and say what their perspective of veganism is, and what they think they know. Because I think we've got so much truth and truth that has arrived and truth that is yet to arrive in the commonplace understanding. There's so much resistance and so much there's so many liars out there. Basically, I want to say that there's so many people that just really want to maintain the status quo, and they'll lie their face off to accomplish it. Now, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who I feel should know better, that should be a little bit closer to our side, like Vandana Shiva. So if you had panels of people that were comfortable with each other to talk about it, and it wasn't a panel loaded with vegans and a few non-vegans, why would they even agree to something like that? So, the people who really do have a genuine concern for the future of the planet, and they are aware of veganism. I mentioned Jonathan Foley. He talked about the other inconvenient truth. He knows that animal agriculture is a big problem that nobody's willing to talk about, but he's still not talking about it in the framework of a real solution. And to get veganism into the solution of the Project Drawdown would be a massive coup. That would, even if we got into the coming attractions, they have the 80 solutions that are current and real and working, and they've got coming attractions that aren't real yet, like feeding seaweed to cows is one of them. So veganism is real, and my argument is that it shouldn't be a plant-rich diet. The solution is a vegan diet. Defend the position to have a plant-based diet as a solution, because it doesn't exist. A plant-rich diet is an arbitrary nothingness. It's like an iron-rich diet, or like, what is that? It's you're trying to find some sort of a measurement. Veganism is something that's real, and it's a movement, and it should be measured at least as a solution.
I think it should be framed as an ethical stance, which is the way I frame it. Go ahead, Jamin.
Oh, I was just waving goodbye to BJ. I'm in no hurry. Go ahead, Silas, to carry on your point.
No, I was just going to say that we need to keep veganism as an ethical stance, not a diet. They want to make it into a diet.
Mm-hmm.
It
Very
isn't.
important. Yes, very important.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point. It's something that helps people adhere to something that can be measured. The diet itself is measured because that's what, the diet of a vegan is a vegan diet. I'm not saying that veganism is a diet. I'm saying there's such a thing as a diet that can be attributed to vegans. Same way as a sparrow has a diet.
I always refer to it as the vegan way. I never said diet. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. But I understand what you mean. Yes, it's
Right.
it's to some way a diet, but it's not what it is really. It's about all the compassion and love and care. And yeah, I just say
You can't measure those things. Compassion and love don't have measure. So when you engage the scientific community, you have to measure the vegan diet and understand what that means. The word vegan already is, used in so many other ways that are not accurate definition wise. And I don't think that anybody who's a health vegan, that's a bit of an oxymoron. You're doing something for yourself first and foremost. If you have no ethical skin in the game, then you're not a vegan, in my opinion. Al Gore is not a vegan. Has never been.
I think Sister Sarah had the hand up.
I'm gonna need to step away. I need to go and walk clients in Beverly Hills real quick because I had to take the day off yesterday from some of my stuff. So I appreciate you, and I will be around all day after this. And if anybody needs me, I'll be in Venice Beach area and Manhattan Beach area. So if you want to reach out to me, I think most people have my cell phone number. I'll be available. If there's anything going on, we do have outreach tomorrow at Santa Monica Promenade at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the PETA demo at Urban Outfitters for anybody that wants to attend. That's in Los Angeles. If they want to come tomorrow, and then we can do the food healer stuff after that, possibly, hopefully. I just wanted to put that out there because my time is much more freed up now. I'm able to kind of basically go anywhere at this point. So I appreciate you guys. I'm grateful for this group, and especially Dr. Rao bringing us all together, because if it really wasn't for Dr. Rao, we wouldn't even be in this room possibly all together. And I am grateful for that, and grateful for everybody here. And thank you, Sister Ivy. I'm really grateful that you're able to meet Dr. Rao and Kamaya, and also our friend James, who we met at the Vegan World 2026. I think that was the second year. Maybe it was the first year that I met them, but I really do believe that we do have a sense of urgency to perpetuate this panel and get it going. But we do want to make sure that key players are on there, and I do think we should have possibly people that say they're vegan on there, but most people are not vegan. We just need to realize that most people that say they're vegan are actually plant-based. And anybody that got the vaccine, whether you believe in it or not, it's not vegan. There's nothing in there that's vegan. The animals are tested on. It hasn't been studied. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just an anti this thing. It's not even a vaccine. It's some kind of scientific test, and I don't want to be a part of it. But I just appreciate everybody being honest and being able to be on here. And we are vegan. I think almost everybody on here is vegan. And we're vegan for ethical reasons. And I think Ray stated that very clearly. It's if you're vegan and it's not for ethical reasons, you're just not vegan. And that's okay. It's become a real big term now. Like it's a buzzword, and everybody says they're vegan, and that's great. I hope everybody says they're vegan, and that makes them manifest it quicker, because I think they'll realize, just like I did when I said I was vegan and I really wasn't. I realized years later that even though I went vegan for ethical reasons right away, I still wasn't 100% vegan, because I was still participating in the, what Jamin calls all day Monopoly game, and then still participating in people who do animal testing. So it's pretty difficult to remove yourself from everything, but the least amount of harm we can do on this earth is what we're here for. And that's why we will be the people that will be in the vegan world. And I'll go out with this, like Jane says, see your friends, see your future.
Beautiful.
And Sister, just about tomorrow, reminder that from 11 to 3, we're going to get together at the beach. Yes, Brother Jamin, we wish you were here. We'll be dancing like that.
Thank you. I'm dancing for you and also for Kamaya. It's so good to see Kamaya. Woo!
Yeah, I just met her. It's so beautiful.
So Ingrid, then I'll contact Annie and I could carpool down then.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah, we'll work on that because yeah, that's great. Okay.
And since you're in Venice, yeah, let's text and
yeah. I'm totally open tomorrow after that demo. The only reason I'm going to the demo is because I promised Michael Fujimori that I would come, and he's been helping me with a bunch of other people with Boomer. He literally came to the crematory, whatever day it was, Wednesday, and helped me. And he visited him when I was babysitting the other night. And like, he's been there the whole time because he just lost Joy. So I'm just wanting to honor my friends that are supporting me. I want to be there for the activism with them because I want to, give back to them. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, anyway, with that, I really appreciate you guys so much. It's just, I'm just need to go walk these dogs and then I'll be available. Okay. Thank you so much.
Love you, Sarah.
Thank you for
Love
all
you,
your
Sarah.
good work.
See you soon.
I hope she heard me. She does so much good work. Yes, I hope she heard it. I hope she heard me saying thank you for all your good work, because she does so much great work for the animals. That's amazing. Yes, I'm so grateful for all the work she does. I always want to join, but I just can't. But I'm so grateful for that work, making people aware of all those animals.
That running.
Maya, you want to say hello here? We've been busy.
Yeah. What is it?
You want to say hello on the screen? Yes? Sure.
Kamaya.
Hi, everybody.
Great to see you, Kamaya.
Yes. It's really an honor to meet you with those great ideas and great things you brought.
Yeah. I owe her a lot.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you from
You
all
must
the
have
world.
taller.
Oh yeah, she's grown, almost to my shoulder now.
Wait, I want to really see though.
Really?
We're almost there.
Yeah, she's
I'm at the tip.
And you might get taller. But
yeah.
You never know.
yeah, the thing is the good that you have inside so much. That would be always a great thing. Thank you for bringing it up.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
think, go ahead, Silas.
No, go ahead, Jamin. You have your hand up.
Yeah, well, I'd like to offer just a thought and inspiration, which is maybe the answer to our World Unity Week event just walked into the room. Kamaya. She is brilliant. She is beautiful. She is healthy. She is growing like a weed. And so many people associate children growing with drinking milk and eating meat. Well, of course, that's how children grow strong and healthy, right? And smart and all those good things, right? Anyway, that's just one thought. And then back to veganism for the rest of us, right? I trust most of us made the association with 1984 and the launch of the Macintosh computer. A computer for the rest of us, right? Those of us who are old enough to remember, who's probably everybody in this room except for Christopher and Kamaya, in 1984, in the early 80s, most of us felt excluded by this computer revolution. It was beyond us. It was something that was beyond us. Computers were expensive and hard to use and geeky and this and that. And the thing about a computer for the rest of us, it was an open door invitation to everyone who had heretofore been excluded. It's saying, hey, welcome, because guess what? The word veganism to a non-vegan is basically Chinese for shame on you. Now get your butt in here and clean up your act, or we'll give you another spanking, right? And so veganism for the rest of us says, hey, welcome, sister, welcome, brother. We've got something for you that we think you'll really like. Now, was that just a slogan? Was it the same old geeky computer machine language, zeros and ones, and a whole Amazon forest worth of IBM printouts, but just with a different brand? No. It looked different. It felt different. It smelled different. It talked to you. It had graphics. It had a mouse on your desk with a tail walking around everywhere. It was friendly. It was R2D2 in your bedroom, right? So we need a supercharged veganism. We need to do for veganism what the Macintosh did for the computer. We need to bring it to life. What am I talking about? Okay. I'm talking about, so first of all, a blast from the past. What is veganism? What has it been? Is it an ethical stance? Is it a diet? Is it an answer to climate change? We don't even know who we are. Veganism doesn't know, it doesn't know what it is. It's confused. It's all over the map, right? And, you know, it's basically, it looks like, you know, you remember how computers used to look like a bunch of geeks in lab coats with thick glasses, totally asexual, who'd never gone on a date in their lives? That was computers in 1980. You all know what I'm talking about, except for Christopher and Kamaya, right? That's what computers was in the 1980s, all right? Early 1980s. And then boom, along comes the Mac and changes everything, right?
Brother, can I just, Kamaya wants to share something. Just tell him about, she was saying some things as you were talking, and I said, will you share that with us? So,
All right.
I just liked how funny you were when you said, it was something when you kind of sounded like a moose.
Like a moose? Okay.
Yeah, I love Jamie's personality on the camera. For sure.
That's beautiful.
I looked up the picture of the original Macintosh to show,
Oh, wow.
because she's never seen that. That was
Me
before,
neither.
that was your computer.
Oh, Lord.
That's a
Oh, Lord.
floppy drive.
I
Yeah.
really feel bad because we have these computers and you guys have
Yes.
those.
Well, oh my goodness, no, Kamaya, you want to feel bad. You should see pictures of the stuff that came before that.
Oh, yeah.
That was the,
Right?
that when they came out with that, Kamaya, it was the coolest thing on earth
Oh, yeah.
times 100. And you see, and that's the comparison I'm making right now, because right now to a non-veganism, veganism is like the computers of 1980 before the Mac. It's just like, it's just totally outside their reality. There's no way in. If you want to get in, it's like trying to get into a fraternity or something. They're first going to break your back with a wooden paddle of hazing, right? And if you survive that, then you have to drink yourself to death and pretend you hate women, right? I mean, there's no way in. Literally, guys, gals, think about it. You're on the inside looking out, so you're looking at a whole different perspective. You have to embrace the perspective of the outsider looking in, okay? I found a magical back door through climate activism, and thank God I found it. I feel like the guy in Lord of the Rings who scratched on the mountain wall until his fingernails were bloody and finally found the keyhole, right? You guys and gals got to think in terms of the average Joe Blow walking down the street, smoking a cigarette, eating a cheeseburger. And I don't think we're there. And we got to get there fast, because this might be our last best chance to win them over.
Horrible. The taste comparison. was
Wait,
tasty
just
bad.
say it here, what?
the taste comparison of that must have tasted so bad.
Oh my goodness, yes. And were these computers expensive at that time? Was that only like rich people?
Prohibitively expensive. In today's dollars, it'd be like $20,000.
No, but I mean at that time, they
Yeah,
were
yeah. I'm
like,
saying in today's dollars, it would be the equivalent of about $20,000
oh my goodness.
to buy a computer that was useless to you unless you spoke Chinese. The equivalent of Chinese, which is, you know, some computer programming language, right? Which you didn't speak. See, the Macintosh cracked it open and it had a big, wide welcome. A computer for the rest of us, not a better computer for the geeks, a computer for the rest of us. We need veganism for the rest of us. That's got to be the title. Veganism for the rest of us. And then we take it from there. Right?
Well, now that you said that, brother, I brought the definition of veganism that anyone is going to see when you search it. It says, is the practice of abstaining from the use of animal products, particularly in diet, and an associated philosophy that rejects the commodity status of animals. An individual who follows the diet or philosophy is known as a vegan. Distinctions may be made between several categories of veganism. So this is just, when I search it, that's what people are going to see. So is that something that we all can relate to and we think is complete? Because we were talking about it's not just a diet, like it's kind of a material view, you know, oh, it's a diet, it's just about food, but we know it's not. So I just brought that definition to see what everybody thinks, if the term is something that really kind of compiles all of what we know about the vegan way.
Yeah, I would say that for insiders, that's a definition that makes us not stand up and cheer, but stand up and yawn. And for an outsider, it sounds like the definition of a computer in 1980. It is a machine that processes bits of information expressed in zeros and ones through processors that store it on hard drives, and there is input and output and access. It's gibberish. It means nothing. We need to sexify it. We need to make it sexy and fun and welcoming for the average Joe Blow on the street. Yeah, smoking a cigarette and eating a cheeseburger. That's what we need to do. That's our target market. If we're going to truly blow the roof off this thing, we got to get real. Okay. And veganism for the rest of us is the name. Now we got to load it up with features. Features like, for example, feeding everyone, finally ending hunger, ending COVID, right? Ending all these pandemics of obesity and hypertension and depression and anxiety and sleeplessness, cooling the planet, right? Collective superintelligence, food for the chrysalis, right? And yes, a vegan world. Go big or go home. The whole world vegan, right?
Right.
And we have our lovable R2D2 right in front of us. Her name is Kamaya, right? If she's game, and with her grandfather Obi-Wan Kenobi, what more can you ask for, right? What more can you ask for? And then the story with the pinky promise and everything. Break out the pinky.
Oh my gosh.
And then with Sister Ivy, bringing it to the world. Hello, anybody home? Veganism for the rest of us. It becomes irresistible, right? So take that old definition of veganism, Sister Ivy, and put it in that dusty bookcase with the computer manuals from 1980. We need to bust out with veganism for the rest of us. I pass the feather.
I don't think Kamaya is a droid. I think she must be a Jedi.
What was that?
Luke Skywalker.
Kamaya is probably, I don't think she's a droid. She's a Jedi.
She's the young Luke Skywalker.
Or Rey.
She's Princess Leia. She's Princess Leia.
There we go. The
She
princess.
doesn't know all these Star Wars
Yeah.
references. Okay, so
I don't watch Star Wars.
No, you don't need to watch it. You're living it.
yeah.
I can't compare if I don't know what it is.
Well,
No
I'll
one-
tell you something. You know, I mean, you were talking about making it sexy and all that. So yesterday, Janie told me, don't ever lose sight of her when you go to LA. Make sure she's always within your sight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a precious
And
thing right there.
so I told her that, and she said, that's because I'm pretty.
Now we're talking.
And that's when I said, I apologized to her on behalf of my generation. Because I think children should be able to go wherever they want, be free, and not be scared because of some predator.
Yeah.
That, a male predator who's going to come and catch her.
Yeah. But we have to let them know about it because they are out there.
They are out there, but
Unfortunately, but she is beyond pretty. She is just so much about spirituality to me. It's like it just glows. Yeah. Not to be prideful, but just to know how precious you are. Yes.
You know what comes to mind is that scene at the very beginning of the very first Star Wars, Episode 4, 1977, when Princess Leia's ship is boarded by the Empire, and there's Darth Vader, and she just walks up to Darth Vader and Commander Tuck and says, "I thought I recognized your stench when you boarded this vessel." Unafraid, challenging, defiant, and just boom. That's what we got. That's what we've got in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, in our heroine. We got to recognize greatness when it walks in the room.
Well, I definitely, as you well must know, go with the unafraid. That's a good thing. But still, we are not going to watch ours to know this. We can watch it by other ways. Unafraid, challenging, and defiant. That's what you said. Yeah, well, those are good things. Yeah.
But we need to come out big and bold. It needs to be bifurcated, right? We're not going to get there from here if we stay on the old, tired vegan donkey of washed up liberals eating lentils and lettuce and being self-righteous. You can't get there from here. We need veganism for the rest of us. And we need to come out with all these features, again, with the analogy to the computer, the mouse, a graphical user interface, a computer that talks to you, that brings it to life, that's fun, that's colorful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Veganism for the rest of us. It's an open door, finally saying, welcome. Hey, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. That's the subtext. Today, it's veganism. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, right? Veganism for the rest of us says it's not your fault. You didn't know. Here. And now we finally cooked it up for you and we're bringing the food to the world. So just sit back, relax, and let us serve you. Free food. Seriously, come on. We got to load up the features. That's what made the Mac successful. What's the most successful computer in the world? I've literally got 4 of them on my desk, 2 MacBook Pros, an iPad, and an iPhone. Half my budget goes to this crazy stuff these days. That's how successful they are, right? Insanely successful. And I don't even need all this hardware, as Silas will point out, right? But they keep you buying the new stuff, right? Because they won our hearts in 1984. Sounds like a black and white movie. But that's what happened. We need to win their hearts in 2021. And this is our last best chance to do it. Veganism for the rest of us.
I like that you brought up that we don't have to be about celebrities. You brought it down to, hey, look at here, we have it right here, you know. I I think that's very important because especially, you know, living in Los Angeles, Hollywood and stuff. I've been only twice to Hollywood and I've been here for almost 15 years. So that's how much I want from it and I'm about it. But I think it's so important to bring the people in daily life, not, you know, I mean, it might be good to get celebrities to call some other attention, but I mean also to bring the just daily life people that have been following the vegan way and can contribute so much and are not celebrities. You know, we have them right here. Look at this contribution, so amazing. So thank you for bringing that up, and I do hope that we have that in mind. Get out of the celebrity thing, and you know, all these experts things, which I know you're good at that. But yeah, thank you for bringing that.
It's kind of what I imagine with, well, when I first started the Vegan Enabler, right? Because like, I'm not this ultra fit, young, you know, whatever, right? Like I'm a mom and I went vegan and I got my family to go vegan. Now I have a vegan family, right? So just to kind of show that, right? Like most vegans are just sort of everyday people, right? And so when I think of the Vegan Enabler Collective and the people who are helping the people make those transitions, those are the people, because that's how you relate, right? I don't relate to, you know, the bodybuilder, like all, right? Because it's not me. And most people who we're convincing to go vegan are not going to be that niche, right? They're just everyday people, in particular moms. Because when the mom goes vegan, the kitchen goes vegan, and the family go vegan, right? So I do agree, like there needs to be that sort of the everyday person involved in the conversation, someone who has a lot of knowledge or whatever, but you know, that people can relate to. Because like even some of the celebrities, as much as I love vegan celebrities, like hardcore vegan celebrities, like I still don't relate to them. They're, you know, they're very privileged to be able to live and eat vegan, right? They don't have to worry. You know, a lot of people have to worry about money, you know, other factors that might prevent them from going vegan, right? So when they can see that someone that is like them has done it, then, you know, they're more likely to do it than someone who has millions and millions of dollars and is telling them to go vegan, right?
That's a great point. Thank you, sister, for bringing that. That's really wonderful. And then shared about all the challenges and you know, arguing and everything that we went for to bring the vegan way to the family when they were, you know, hearing, no, go and get burgers at whatever place, and you know, all these fancy restaurants with the big burgers and everything. And I think it's good, yeah, for people to just hear that simple daily life folks, you know, sharing what we had to go through, whoever it is, anybody, to do that, so that they understand that, yeah, it's not going to be a 1 minute thing and then you're done and you brought it, that we have gone through a lot of work and efforts and fights and, you know, all kinds of things for where we are today with the vegan way. So yeah, that's really great. Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you know, because I talk to my son all the time, like, what should I be doing? Like, what, you know, angle should be, what avenue should I be doing? Like, you know, what makes the most sense for me? And he always used to say, like, I think you should open up a meal delivery service because, you know, my friends, their parents always go and just like pick up to-go meals because they're just so busy. And we feign, I believe for the most part, we feign how busy we really are. Like we're really good at making ourselves busy, right? But nothing should be more busy than like caring about your health, right? You know, and so like, so again, like going back to, you know, the obstacles, people like, well, oh my gosh, like I'm so busy and like how am I gonna, you know, I need to make food in a short period of time because I'm a very busy person. My family's very busy, right? So showing them like, you know, that vegan is not an obstacle. Like you can't not go vegan because of that.
Hey,
Can we just
Okay.
welcome? No, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
We just want to welcome Brother Simon. So good to have you.
Welcome, Simon.
Yes. How about this?
That's a lovely
Simon?
welcome. Thank you very much, Lee.
Simon, we were having a pretty good time before you arrived, but listen, with you here, now it's perfect.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome.
Look, 3 people in the same room, that can't be right, surely.
Actually, 4. The 4.
Yeah, she's over there.
Good to see.
You're encountering the same thing that I find watching old TV shows where you see groups of people and you go, they're not social distancing. Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's 1980.
That's 19.
I want to bring back the feather.
Oh, I just was, we were discussing earlier about who would be great on a debate, and then maybe somebody famous. So, but I was thinking one person, and then this, I forgot your name, sorry. She was mentioning that about being healthy and things. So Robert Cheek, I've seen him on stage when he talks. He's a vegan bodybuilder and he's written a few books. I think he'd be a really good debater because he has a lot of education on the vegan diet. And then I was thinking to be a little bit more famous, but also dispelling the myth that we need a protein is Patrick Boboneman.
Yeah.
And he's very passionate about it too. So that would be good.
Thank you.
Now, one other really important element of this, and Simon, we're talking about a big world unity vegan event, a 1 hour like plenary session where we'll get a bunch of eyeballs and influencers and whatnot watching. One thing I think we got to keep in mind is what is the singular call to action at the end of it? And you might think you know the answer already and say, well, of course, it's go vegan. I would challenge you on that. I would say the singular call to action is join us on the journey. We meet every Friday. Join us. And guess what? When 1,000 people show up, that's a great problem to have, because then we enfricate into N breakout rooms and we manifest collective superintelligence and we make this happen already. Right? Rather than a dozen of us meeting every Friday and getting more and more frustrated until we commit suicide? No, let's get thousands of us here and actually manifest collective superintelligence, right? Get a bunch of volunteers helping out Sister Ivy and company, feeding everyone, making it a reality. So let's keep in mind, what is the singular, and we only get one, what is the singular call to action at the end of the hour? When Silas gets on the mic and says, thank you all for being here. It's been really wonderful. It's blown my mind. It's been greater than I could have expected. I have but one call to action for you. And here it is. Boom, put it on the table. Passing the feather. It's like what any guy knows about dating. What's the objective of the first date? Not to get married, not to get a kiss. No. It's to get a second date, right? This is our opportunity to ask them for a second date, right, Kelly? Seemed to work for Ray. Or are the rules different up in Canada?
Well, if I hear the single one thing, we have to have our thought very clear and very focused so that we can, accomplish all these things. That's my loving offer. We gotta have that clarity of thought about even what is the single thing. So just thinking, where does it really start, And then let's just bring it. Let's bring spirituality. I'm just saying that to be connected to that source of infinite wisdom and goodness, to be able to hear it and listen to it, and then we're gonna know exactly what it is that we have to do. It's that source of intelligence that will connect us all in harmony too. So just bringing my personal single one thing, and I believe from that, everything derives from it. Even veganism, you know, is from that source of intelligence. So that's my loving offer.
The more I think about it, the more I think that the people I'd like to see in a discussion about whether veganism is a critical piece in defeating the Anthropocene or changing the Anthropocene. We can have the Anthropocene be something where the human race becomes a benevolent species rather than the species that causes all the harm. And in that endeavor, if that's the target, then does veganism have a place in that? And the more people I think about that I'd want to be part of that argument are people that I think are smart enough to know that it fits, but aren't yet vegan. I want to hear their arguments against it, because I think that they're going to be rather limited to the point where you go, well, so it's all full speed ahead except for these exemptions. I'm okay with that. You know, I always understood that there are exemptions of people that aren't going to be leading the movement, but there is a movement, and that's what I want to stress the most. Is this is veganism is an ism, and that makes it more strong than just a diet, than just a lifestyle, just an identity, just a collective of people who happen to believe the same thing. So it's something I'd like to see how how this is applied, and I can't help but think of the study that came out recently that said that vegans are hated more than other people groups other than active drug addicts. Drug addicts who are seeking help are they poll better than vegans in a public poll. That doesn't suggest that there's something that fundamentally wrong with vegans. That suggests there's something fundamentally wrong with society. And as much as, like, I appreciate what you're saying, Jamin, about vegans need better PR, we do, but it's kind of a tantamount to saying that feminists should be nicer in their messaging. Feminists shouldn't be outraged. Feminists shouldn't be, we don't need feminists as long as everybody is generally knows that the patriarchy is wrong and will work against it. They have a place to play, and there really is such a thing as a radical flank. And the famous example being, not everybody wanted to listen to Martin Luther King, but when the alternative was to listen to Malcolm X and see what kind of plans he had, suddenly Martin Luther King sounds like a very rational person to talk to. And then you have conversation, then you have progress. So obviously there's not just one way to accomplish an ism getting progress, but I've done all my activism life in that space between the environmental movement and the vegan movement. And the environmental movement tries to pretend that the vegan movement is not a relevant movement in their endeavor. And they're wrong. There is an intersection, and it's getting closer all the time. They're uncomfortable with it. They vilify vegans left and right. And I have to say they're wrong. They aren't going to accomplish their goal by ignoring the need to have these movements unite. And it's not just those movements. Any movement that involves systemic oppression is relevant in this conversation.
Well, here's the thing. I need to respond, Ray. When you said that saying that veganism needs better PR is like saying that feminists need to be nicer,
No, we do need better PR.
And that's my point. That's my point, right? Gay rights needed better PR. And it wasn't until Joe Biden came along, the vice president who became president, who years ago said, listen up, everyone. People should have the right to marry the person they love. What he didn't say was, hey, you know, gays should be less sexual. No, he said everyone should have the right to marry the person they love. And that was the last nail in the coffin of anything anti-gay in this country. It ended it. Game over. So that's good PR. We need to do the equivalent of that. We need to bring the love back into veganism, loving our audience, loving everyone. Veganism for the rest of us. We need better PR.
Can we just take a second to welcome Brother Michael?
Brother Michael. You know what, Michael? I don't know if you can hear me now. Let's wait till he unfreezes.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's got the bong equivalent of brain freeze. Michael, it looks like you can hear me now. Michael, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Michael Prent. Yep, good. Michael, we were having a pretty good time before you showed up, but listen, with you here, now it's perfect.
Yes,
You
brother.
said went to the last person.
We are working on that. Kimaya said you said that to the last person.
No, Kamaya, I'll let you in on a little secret. I say that to every person because listen, what's working here in this meeting, in our gatherings, is what's going to work for the world, waking up to veganism and taking it into their heart is a welcome. And veganism for the rest of us says welcome. I know you just got done eating a bacon cheeseburger. Welcome, right? That's what veganism for the rest of us says.
I think instead of doing it every single time, change it up a little bit one time, then do the same thing again, change it up, done.
What do you mean change it up to what?
Like
how?
Change it up to like welcome, you're helping us, I don't know, something like that.
I've got it.
Change it up.
I've got it. Michael, we were having a pretty good time before you showed up, but listen, Michael, with you here, now it's elevated.
Okay, that's better.
I like the word perfect, but maybe we have kind of two different levels of perfection. I just share this from metaphysics. One is like the absolute perfection, and another notion we can have is like the highest level of perfection that we can see right now. So maybe that's what we're talking about. That highest level of perfection that we can see right now is with you. It's perfect, but we know there's a higher absolute perfection that if we attain it one day or don't attain it, but you know, so we're just talking about this humbly right here, Kimaya. But thank you for offering. If you get another way to say it, please make sure you let us know, okay? You get some specific idea. We would love to hear it. Yeah. And we'll be listening and thinking about it too. Thank you.
I have a question, if I may, for Silas mainly. If you were to get your way in everybody, that's the goal, is vegan, what would the level of tolerance be for people that historically or just live on a meat diet? I'm thinking about the indigenous people up in the Arctic who live almost entirely off whale meat. How do they fit into this equation?
Well, I mean, if they're living there and that's the only thing they can eat, the veganism allows that. We are saying that to the extent possible, stop hurting animals unnecessarily, right? But we would also go to those people and say, we have polluted the earth so much that the whale you're eating is full of toxins.
Oh, right.
And we would be happy to send you some plant-based foods that don't have toxins in them. And And we have to start cleaning up the ocean so that the whales also don't have toxins in them. So could you help us?
Okay.
And I will add to that good thing that don't they live closer to nature than we do? I mean, unless we're talking about like the Navajo Reservation, which is kind of a city, but I mean, are you referring to which one? You know, because otherwise they live closer to us, to all the plants and trees and fruit and everything, right?
No, they're living in the Arctic. Inuits.
Oh, okay.
Inuits, yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking about all kinds of, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say is, I would think you are the same and as loving as any of us, obviously, right? As a human being, as a child of love, divine love. And so we know you would like also not to take part on this cruel intention and cruel practice, and explain about people making so much money from this teaching, from this wrong teaching. And so that they know that we are acknowledging the great love they have too. And that's why we share this loving way with them. So, I mean, that's what I will share with them.
Yeah, the bottom line is that the circumstances have changed than, what used to be there 100 years ago.
Yes.
And so we have to adapt to the circumstances, otherwise we are going away. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
And
which is the same for people in the cities. They say, oh, but 100 years ago, whatever, people were eating animals and look
Right.
and stuff. And I said, yeah, but I mean, are you going and hunting because there's nothing else to eat? You go to the supermarket and you choose what you get, and you have a million choices. So yeah, that's about the same, right? The circumstances have changed and we have the choice.
This is one of the things about veganism as an ism. It quite often acts as a measure of where it doesn't fit. If somebody finds a place where it doesn't fit, it usually points at a problem with our society that we need to fix. So if somebody can't go vegan, there's usually something associated with them that suggests that there's that there's a bit of a problem. And if you're talking about the Inuit, they need to get fruits and vegetables the same way that we do. Can we get fruits and vegetables to them? No, we completely fail to properly share that nutrition with them. And I tell the story about when I was working in a grocery store, sending canned meat to First Nations reservations, which, I mean, they have their protein. If they're living a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, they're a hunting community, they've got their protein, so to speak. So why are we sending them canned meat so they could get diabetes, right? It's, there's a problem there. And I don't think that there's anything about animal agriculture specifically from the agriculture that First Nations did. They grew vegetables, but they didn't have any sort of animal agriculture, no animal husbandry until that's a colonial import.
Right.
And they largely lost their land to agricultural projects that, never did them any favors. So, I mean, now they're as addicted to meat as we are, addicted to industrialized meat. And half of the indigenous population in Canada live in cities now. So what of that? Is that a problem?
Good points, Ray. This is Michael. You go to a res and you're having Indian fried bread with ground beef and as many vegetables as they can find, but it's mostly ground beef and bean type fried bread.
Well, it's kind of a running joke in their community that their traditional food is Spam. They have fried spam in indigenous restaurants where they serve things that are familiar. And it's kind of funny, but it's mostly sad. That's tragic, really.
All right, I'm going to follow Kamaya's wisdom. I hope Kamaya's listening. Miranda, it's great to see you. Listen, Miranda, we were having a pretty good time here before you showed up, but with you here, now it's perfect, eh?
Now you're speaking our language. Beauty.
Yes, welcome, Miranda. Good that you're here.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you all. I'm only popping on for
I like your expression.
a small amount of time, trying to weave you into my workday. It's my check-in.
Thank you. Thank you. Even checking in, we're glad to see you for whatever time it is. And we're going to be here all day and until the night. So whenever you can come back, we'd love to have you. Yeah, that's the great thing. Like Brother Jamin keeps on saying, you know, it's really great. Anybody can come at any time and come and go as we need to because, you know we're busy. So that's great. Yeah, come back.
Jamin, with that in mind, is Vincent due? I thought Vincent was due.
He's due in 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, he'll be here.
Got that wrong.
And since you asked, Ray, what Vincent's going to do is he's going to lead us through a training session that probably won't take more than half an hour, but there might be questions and whatnot. We're going to record it. And it's all about how you, and yes, I'm talking to you, can upload your events, whatever transformational events, conversations, meetings, whatever, onto the Chrysalis calendar, which is like level 1 baseline for connecting these transformational conversations and communities in the Zoomosphere. So please stick around. In 42 minutes to be exact, Vincent will be here. He is the founder and creator of Trove, aka Catalyst, and he'll be walking us through a very cool session on all that. Thank you, Simon.
I'm going to pop back in that case, if you don't mind, Jamin. I'll catch you later.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Very good. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks.
Hey, let's see, Susan Hargreaves just messaged me. She wanted to know, when is the food giveaway in the park today? And I think she probably wants to know where.
When is the food healers? Is it tomorrow, right? 11 o'clock.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
You're bringing food tomorrow to give away?
I didn't know anything.
You're gonna go to do that?
Do you know that? She said that you would do it. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were doing it. Yeah, I was.
She said you were doing it. What's he doing?
We are sorry, James. We have a bit of confusion about that.
So maybe he knows.
Jamin,
Yes.
I have a little for you.
All right. Yes, at your service.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Um,
Do you understand the answer, girl?
Yeah, it's okay.
Gee, you brought a big quiz here.
Anybody got an answer?
Water?
Nope. You try to think here.
The more, can you say it again? The more you
take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Time?
Huh? Time?
Yeah.
Nope. That's a good guess, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, that's a good guess. It could be the answer, but it's not.
How about a tree?
Nope. You gotta really think about this one. It's actually kind of it's more easy than you think. So don't think a little bit out of the box, but not too much.
Okay, let us think for a little bit before you don't tell us yet. Let's see if we can get. We'll be thinking about it.
Food?
No.
Two boxes of potatoes and two huge boxes of
Anybody have another guess?
Brussels sprouts.
Love?
Nope.
Yeah, rice and beans, but the thing is where to make it. I don't have a place to make it.
Anybody?
Because we were doing the industrial kitchen, but they close everything. So right now, I haven't gone back to it.
Any more guesses before?
Some churches open it, some people-
Change.
Nope.
But they want
Can you give us a hint about take? What kind of taking are you talking about? Because there's different kinds of taking.
So here, I'll give you a hint. It's on your body. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Air?
Nope. Anybody give up?
The more you take.
The more you leave behind.
Do you want to call them and ask?
15-minute breaks at work?
No. It's a good guess, but no.
Yeah. I just didn't.
Vegan milkshakes?
No.
Nearby.
I thought you were going to give a
Heat?
Survey says age.
Like the older you get, the more you're leaving behind.
Fruits.
It's on your body. How do you guys get those guesses from your body? Very
We're aging. Our body's aging.
Well, that's not the answer. So keep guessing. Unless you guys give up.
Space? The more space we take?
Nope.
Riddles, because the more riddles you ask, the more you leave us behind. Kamai.
Nope. It's on your body.
So
We
Give up.
The more you take, the more. Is it in the body?
It's on your body.
On your body.
we
It's because you know it already. That's how
I
good
still
it
don't
is.
understand how you guys are not getting it. Like, I still don't understand. I gave you such a big hint.
That is on your body?
It is on your body. Do you give up?
Anybody? She's asking if we give up.
clothes.
Of course, right? Of course you don't.
All right. Yes.
Well, then keep hinting. It. I don't.
What's the answer?
Skin is all I can think of, but we don't really take that.
Footsteps. That's the answer.
Footsteps?
Footsteps. You step. The more you walk, the more you leave behind your footprints.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Good one.
Oh, all right.
You got us.
The
Good one.
Family circus cartoons where they show where the little boy went during the day and he leaves a dotted line behind him. You've never seen those?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Ray.
Do you want another riddle? You guys want to hit me with
We
another
need
one?
another chance. Give us another chance.
If two's company and three's a crowd, what is 4 and 5?
4 and 5 are with you here. Now it's perfect.
Love it.
Numbers?
Huh?
Numbers?
Nope.
Yes, they are.
I'm just gonna sit here and
You told me that 4 and 5 are not numbers.
it is a number, but it's not the answer.
You'd be a good game show host. Keep the guests in line.
Hostess.
No, I'd be good in Jeopardy. I was doing Hangman in my school, and the teacher was trying to spell chocolate, and I figured it out in 3 letters.
Because you like chocolate.
Only L-A-T, I mean L-A and E, and I figured it out that it was chocolate in like 3 words. And literally, she said, "Yeah, you guys are never gonna guess it." Nope. She's like, "How?" All right. Keep hinting. So the answer is a number, but what number is it?
$45?
No.
9?
4, right?
9. It was 9.
Oh, what is 4 and 5?
Equals 9.
That was a math question. You didn't notice.
Oh, this one's good. After a train crashed, every single person died. Who survived?
The married people.
Yep, the married people. That was a little easy for you too. I gotta give it harder. All right. A boy and his father get into a car accident. They arrive at the hospital. The doctor sees a boy, exclaims, "That's my son." How could this be?
The doctor is his mother.
What the heck? I should really get it harder for you too. Everything counts. Let's see here. Oh. 4 legs up, 4 legs down, loft in the middle, hard all around. What am I?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, hold on. 4 legs. Hold on. What's it? 4 legs up, 4 legs down, soft in the middle, hard all around. What am I? This one's a little bit easy.
A bed?
What the heck? I should give.
What was the answer?
It was a bed. What can you catch but not throw? This is gonna be a hard one.
A cold.
I thought this was a hard one. Oh, what begins with T, finishes with T, and has T in it.
A tree.
Huh?
Oh my God, no, we got.
Teapot.
I mean, that actually. Yeah, it would be.
If a brother is his sister and their dog weren't under an umbrella, Why didn't they get wet?
It wasn't raining?
How? Okay, I'm so simple that I can only point, yet I guide man all over the world. Wait, I'm gonna read that again.
Compass.
Who said that?
A patriarchal compass.
Compass.
Marco did.
Okay,
One way
that
sign.
goes up but never goes down.
Smoke.
Huh? A moat?
Smoke.
No.
Air.
No.
Mm,
No. Yay, this one will take a while. Finally.
Wait, well, so once again, it's what goes up, it never comes down?
Yep.
Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster. He threw his car into outer space, and it's never coming down.
Oh. What the heck?
Yeah, that's a little bit too weird.
I don't understand that at all, but it's a no.
your age.
This is the same guy that wants to live on Mars because Earth may not be able to
It's
be.
your age.
Yep.
Darn it. Oh, what's a 5-letter word? The word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters.
Short. Short.
I'm really going to burst. Okay. What travels around the world but stays in one spot?
The equator.
Nope.
The sun.
Nope. This is finally gonna take a while. Got a guess? Anybody? Anybody? Got a guess?
A stamp.
Darn it! Why?
I think Marco reads the same kind of books as you.
Okay.
Either that or he's typing the riddles
When
into.
things go wrong, what can you always count on?
Always count on.
Ray! Mm. Oh, I got one. Mr. Blue lives in a blue house. Mrs. Yellow lives in a yellow house. Mr. Orange lives in an orange house. Who lives in the White House?
The president.
Okay. A word I know, 6 letters. It contains. Remove one letter.
Hold the door open and he'll go in. The gray cat, he wants in.
Sorry, Marco didn't know he was unmuted.
A word I know, 6 letters, and it contains. Remove 1 letter and 12 remains. What is it?
Okay. Because I have a small car and it's a it's not organized because every time people look.
Can you repeat that one?
Yeah. A word I know, 6 letters in it contains. Remove 1 letter and 12 remains. What is it?
So let's say tomorrow 11 o'clock.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah. But then we are changing instead of the beach.
Yeah, we'll go to homeless camp.
We might be able to go to the camps and then go to the beach and have a good time.
Where is it homeless camp near the beach?
Well, I'm thinking of taking you to the smaller ones.
Anybody got a guess?
Could you repeat the question one more time, please, Kamaya?
Yeah. Hold on. A word I know, 6 letters it contains. Remove 1 letter and 12 remains. What is it?
Dozens.
I'll tell James it's tomorrow.
I will have to.
Nice, Mark.
How many letters are in the English alphabet?
Because it's going to be a lot of pizza. So even for ordering 3, you always want like an hour and a half.
26?
So,
Nope.
Just thinking.
18. 3 in the, 7 in English, and 8 in alphabet.
Got me.
I was going to get that one, but I was just counting the letters.
Okay. If a red house is made of red bricks, a yellow house is made out of yellow bricks, what is the greenhouse made of?
Yes.
Glass or sometimes plastic these days.
How can a leopard change its spots?
Gene therapy.
No? What? What is that? Definitely don't know. It's not that. Tick tock. Anybody guess?
Leopards don't have spots.
No.
With hair dye?
Huh?
With hair dye?
No. The jackal doesn't have hair dye for leopards.
I should have. Yeah, I said you had some things.
Miranda, you got a guess?
I should have called you, but I just said.
Yeah, I mean, the only message I got was
Ray?
connected to it. That's the first time I got a message.
Ray, you got a guess?
Yeah. Oh, no.
I didn't hear that question.
Okay. How can a leopard change its spots?
Impossible.
By moving to a new spot.
Yeah. And then
You got it right.
Wow.
I'm just making a note.
What is easy to get into but hard to get out of?
Trouble.
Mary has 4 daughters, and each daughter has a brother. How many children does Mary have? This is smart.
Yeah, so
Five.
Let us know where to meet.
Darn it, Jamin.
Yeah, because then we have to change the location.
David's parents have 3 sons, Snap, Crackle, and...
Pop.
David.
Miranda, you got it right. If you bought me for dinner but never eat me, what am I?
Dishes?
Chicken?
Yeah, cutlery.
Oh, cutlery?
Yep. I'm tall when I'm young and I'm short when I'm old. Oh, I love this one. This is my favorite one.
So I like to share this so people understand they do this.
You really gotta think out of the box for this one.
That's him. He got on the drugs. But he said you can take this stuff.
Anybody got a guess? Anybody? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Come on, anybody?
Can you repeat that one?
Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm short when I'm tall when I'm young. I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
Well, people get shorter when they get old.
Yeah, but but they're not tall when they're young.
Oh, that's true.
Some people are tall when they're young, but not all of them.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a serious.
Anybody got a guess?
Candle.
And so he tells about.
Darn it.
I wasn't sure.
Oh, what answer can you never say yes to?
What answer or what question?
What answer can you never say yes to?
About volunteering that we should do.
Anybody got a guess? Anybody got a guess? Gosh, Jamie, you have to think so hard about it.
You're making me pull a muscle up here.
It's quite easy.
So he was asking.
James, you got a guess?
Huh?
You got a guess?
No, those are really hard. I only keep thinking about that one.
So James, it'll be 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And in Venice.
Yeah, everyone.
Are you here?
Huh?
Are you here? If you're not here, you can't say. Okay.
In Los Angeles.
Are you dead?
Huh?
Are
you dead?
That's just cruel.
I know that you guys want to.
But no.
I'm trying to.
Are you asleep?
Darn it, Ray.
I think Marcos works too. It is a little bit more macabre.
Sean was
Oh,
not
okay.
coming.
So,
I gotta
so I
get
don't
some
need,
harder
you don't need any
ones.
filming today.
Not
Hold on, I'm
Tomorrow.
gonna
Okay,
look
that's
up
tomorrow.
hardest riddles.
Okay, that's good.
11 o'clock. Yeah, she's arranging that. You
Did
can
you
just.
cook? We're recruiting more cooks to see if we can make a meal for tomorrow. But it's
The hardest riddles. Dun,
Because
dun,
there's a
dun.
food.
Yeah.
Did you cook them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be happy to cook, but if you don't have a kitchen, that's okay. We can buy.
That's what we will do, but we will go. Because we were, all I knew is we were going to have a good time on the beach and get more,
We could just-
spend more time.
We could just
Go with the flow.
No,
See,
but tomorrow we
No,
can find
we do it.
We'll do it.
I didn't know you guys wanted to. This is a life experience. So, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I've got a riddle for you.
Okay.
What has been super amazing?
Huh?
What,
Hold on,
what has, what has been super amazing, perfect now that you're here, and ends in 14 minutes?
Wait, what? What's the question?
What has been super amazing, is perfect now that you're here, and ends in 14 minutes?
The Zoom meeting?
Exactly, you got it.
You said it would be
Now,
hard.
this particular session ends in 14 minutes, but the block party continues. And in 14 minutes, at 10:30 Pacific time, we're going to shift gears to the chrysalis calendar, right?
All right, I have one more riddle. It's a very long one.
All right.
A wealthy family lives in a big circular house.
Because I've been told
They
never to
had a maid
lose sight of us.
and a butler and a gardener. The parents were going to a party, so they tucked their younger kids into bed and kissed them goodnight and said goodbye. And kissed the older kids goodnight. Then when the parents came home, I can't read this properly. Can you read this for them? I cannot. It's way too long.
All the kids were gone. They had been kidnapped.
No. You have to read from the beginning. No, you
Really?
have to read from the beginning.
All right. A wealthy family lived in a big circular house. They had a maid, a butler, and a gardener. The parents were going to a party, so they tucked the younger kids into bed and kissed them goodnight and said goodbye. And kissed the older kids goodnight. When the parents came home, all the kids were gone. They had been kidnapped. The authorities asked the butler, maid, and gardener what they were doing at the time of the kidnapping. The butler says he was organizing the library. The maid says she was dusting the corners. And the gardener says he was watering the plants. Who's lying?
The maid.
Gardener.
And actually kidnapped the kids.
It was the gardener because you can't be watering things at night.
He could.
But
He could.
that one.
There's a clue at the beginning of the riddle.
Yep.
The maid, it has to be. She was lying.
Yeah. Why was she lying?
No corners in a round house.
No, it's because she wasn't vegan. If she were vegan, she wouldn't have a need to lie or kidnap or do anything.
Kids were dusting the corners, but the family lives in a circular house, so there are no corners.
Like I said, she wasn't vegan because if you're vegan, you don't cut corners.
Oh my God. That's propaganda for the
Do
video.
another one. Another quick one. Actually, long one. So.
It's a long one.
All right. I'm gonna have to take a break. Another session starting in 10 minutes and 10 minutes for almost 2 hours. So I'm going to stop the recording now. I want to thank everyone for being here. What an amazing session. And please continue with the riddles. But anyway, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back in 10 minutes. And you're all co-hosts, so enjoy. Thanks, everyone.